college and career readiness of what, really the workforce learning are experiencing and feeling, watching, thinking, and then doing and experimenting. Something that you can think about is how you learn to ride a bike. Did you learn to ride a bike by reading the instructions on how to learn to ride a bike? Or did you actually get on a bike and start pedaling and fall down a few times and then, probably with help from a parent or a sibling, eventually figure out how to ride the bike? That's how we're teaching at AVA. It's like learning to ride a bike. And this is our school overview. So you can see that right now we're still building it. We opened up, in August, and we're still promoting it. So I actually brought some flyers that I'd love for you to take because we've been putting them all around town along with the commercials that are going out. We're aiming, you can see that right now our total number of students is at 45, but we're aiming for 125 by the end of the school year. So we need some help from the community to help really kind of put the word out there that AVA is open to all families, K-6. And again, it's a pilot program. We're hoping that we could kind of influence the other models that we see in the other 12 schools by what we're trying out this year with really putting science first. So you can see these are our school demographics. And about half of our students are considered English learners. And our current reality is we have, a small but mighty team. So we have one teacher per grade level. And the staff, half of our team are brand new teachers. This is their first year teaching, so this is really all they know. And they're fantastic. They've already bonded. They're really a close, tightly knit group. And we're going through professional learning. Actually, it's happening right now. So after this meeting, I'm going to jump back on with them of online and blended learning, like best practices. So the team of 7 is getting certified and trained and credentialed in that. And we're slowly gaining momentum. Again, as I mentioned before, we're aiming for 125 students by the end of the year. And that will, again, will be successful if we can keep communicating this program is available to all K-6 students in the county. We have flyers again, and then there's a digital copy here with, I just wanted to highlight, we send out newsletters as well. So our newsletter for December, if you, we'll make sure you have access to the slides. If you click on it, you can see what we were doing during the month of December, which was celebrating Computer Science Education Week. We had the school garden workshop, and we've been really, December was a highlight of one of our best months yet. So we continue to grow and gain momentum. So some of our goals include recruiting, increasing our enrollment, and then there was a lot of talk during the pandemic about reimagining education. However, when we came back to in-person, we kind of seems like we defaulted into a lot of past practices. And so AVA is trying to get out in front to show how we can lead with innovation and really do what's best for our students so they can access the college and career jobs that are currently available and that will continue to change in the next decade. And how will we know it's working? Well, obviously our enrollment will increase. We get very excited when we get new students. So we need like a bell to ring every time we get a new student, right? And then capacity building, so growing our team, making sure our team really is, is connected and qualified to teach, at AVA and the model that we're using. And then data, so both qualitative and quantitative data. For instance, the PAST assessment, which is given in 5th grade, it's the science test statewide. I predict that we're going to do very well on that test in springtime. And so what can we learn from that? When we put science first, how that really does unlock the language for all of our learners, especially our English learners. And so we're still collecting that data now, and we're very grateful to have a full year at AVA to keep collecting data to show what can be done. And last couple slides, we have a professional learning cycle. So it's a coaching model, again, to grow capacity and to make sure our team has what they need to teach, and the students have what they need, families have what they need to be successful. So we have a professional learning cycle that's very much based on like a coaching model where we learn from and with one another. And because of my few years as an instructional coach with some of the folks that are in this room, I have the training to kind of model that coaching and lead that professional learning at my site. So I want to just end before we get into questions with a quote. So we will learn together by noticing what matters to students, posing meaningful questions, making sense of our world, and working to transform it. And hopefully I stayed within my time. So, are there questions?
Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta sobre AVA o AVA, ustedes pueden pasar al frente en el micrófono, cualquier persona que tenga una pregunta o alguna comentario. Y vamos a mirar también el comercial mientras a alguien le gustaría hacer preguntas. Solamente puede venir al frente si le gustaría hacer alguna pregunta. Bueno, mientras no hay nadie que quiera hacer una pregunta. Yo tengo una pregunta. I have a question. I know your goal is to have 125 students by the end of the year. Like, what's your plan to have that 125 by the end of the year? How are you planning to achieve that?
It's a great question. So there's a few things. One, we know that we were a year behind the other virtual academy. So Salinas City Virtual Academy has a pretty full roster of students, and they have momentum and they've sustained it. They did a lot of advertising out front and really made sure that the community was aware of what they were offering. And their model was a response to COVID because a lot of families were not comfortable sending students back to in-person. We have some families that are in that category that aren't comfortable sending students back because of COVID, right? And different things like that. But so it's really communicating and how our model is different than Salinas City. Ours is very much aligned to 21st century learning and that hands-on experiential learning approach. That's a different model than the virtual academy in Salinas City. So our plan is to keep continuing to collect that data, share that data, and do it in different ways, whether it's students sharing the success of how much they love school and what they're learning, whether it's parents sharing that as well, or whether it's assessments that are, school-wide, district-wide, statewide. That's part of our.
Thank you so much. With that, I have another question. What are your plans? Who are the students that AVA serves? And what's the plan? Let's say if we have a student in 4th grade and wants to go to 5th grade in AVA, but this student is either bilingual or dual immersion, is AVA capable to help them or assist them? or take them in?
Yeah, so all students are welcome at AVA. And actually, there were some slides that I talked to Ms. Alvarez about that we can share out that were originally presented on March 16th, 2022 from Mr. Harris. And that kind of, we've stuck to that game plan as far as who's welcome at AVA, and all students are welcome. So, again, our model is adjusting to meet the needs of the student and families whom we serve. But ideally, the screening process is anyone is welcome in our program. So again, a student with special needs, bilingual, all of the subgroups, right, are welcome.
Thank you for that answer. ¿Alguien más tiene una pregunta? Does anybody else has a question or comment? No, ok, entonces podemos movernos a mirar el comercial que
Is a
tienes.
new alternative school of choice and is now open to any student in grades kindergarten through 6th in Monterey County. Although it's virtual, AVA has a physical presence so that a teacher or an administrator is readily available in person as well. The Academy is based on a more hands-on approach to make online learning as engaging as possible. There are also monthly in-person learning or community events for each grade, such as hands-on science lessons or field trips. For more information, call us today. Alice Al Virtual Academy.
Thank you for that. And I think I've seen it. No. ¿Alguien de ustedes recuerda haber mirado el comercial? ¿Alguno de ustedes recuerda? Or has any of you remember seeing the commercial? Maybe we have to put it again, right?
I have a question regarding that
Go ahead.
commercial. Or, is it that short or, yeah?
Sorry?
Is it longer than that or is that's it? Yeah?
Yeah, that's our commercial. However, I can give a shout out to Claudia
Miss
because
Claudia
she's
Mon-
helped really promote it. Website right now, so the AVA is going to be part of the Alisal Union School District
Yeah.
website. There are commercials. There's more than just that one because we've worked with KION, two versions. the English
Oh,
and
okay,
Spanish.
okay. Yeah, that would be great. And also wanted to see, because that would be a great opportunity to do like a little video clip with one of the students, to get that motivation as well. So yeah, thank you. Great.
Great idea. So we can get to 125 students plus, right? Okay. Well, thank you so much for your presentation. And with that, if no one else has a question or a comment, go ahead. You can come up to the mic.
You mentioned it begins in kinder. How many students do you have at that grade?
That's a great question. So kindergarten is actually our lowest number, and it's kind of to be expected because they are so young, and for a virtual experience that long from 8:15 to 2:40 is a pretty long day for a 5-year-old. So right now our kindergarten class, I believe, is at 4 students, which is our lowest number.
And the concentration for them to be staring at a screen, what's their attention on
Yeah,
that?
so kindergarten is very aware, and especially because we're going through our online and blended instruction training and getting certified. Kindergarten is not looking at the screen nearly as often as, let's say, a 6th grader, right? So there's many more chances for let's get up and move. There's going to be a time where it's not asynchronous, it's guided, but they're not looking at the screen. They're doing more analog work where they have pencil to paper, right? And then they're coming back and they're sharing the artifact they've created with the rest of the group and getting feedback peer to peer. So there's less screen time in our K2 than there would be in 3-6.
Because my experience with virtual for a 4-year-old, he's going to be going into kinder. He's doing speech therapy virtual.
Yeah.
It's very poorly. He's always looking around,
Yeah.
distracted. He doesn't concentrate on the screen.
Right.
They ask him a question to identify something, and he goes, "Oh, look over there! There's a bird in the window. Oh, there's over there." That's why I was asking how many students you have in kinder.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I
So
don't think they're ready
Right.
for that in kinder.
that's the silver lining with the small class size. She can really do a lot, our kinder teacher, to give each student the individual, serve them, meet them with where they are with their learning. And we use things like Pear Deck, and Pear Deck is a tool that helps with the interaction between the teacher and the student, and it's kinder friendly. So it's very interactive throughout the day.
So if you have any specific regarding, personal, you can write your name on the paper and then I can give it to Mr. Franzel and then he can get in contact with you.
Okay. And one more.
Yep.
Special needs kinder?
None
And
of our kinder students have qualified for special needs, but we do have students who are in like RSP and speech, and they all have their services met according to their IEP.
Mhm.
So right now, we don't have anyone in kinder who has qualifies for special needs.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we may have the first one, right, coming in.
Yes.
And so if
Thank you for
you
your
have
comments.
any questions that are specific to one of your child or a family member, there are pink and yellow papers. You can write your name and what you'd like to talk about, and then I will give that to the person that is in charge and they will give you a call back on that.
Y otro comentario es, siempre podemos llenar esta hoja con nuestras preocupaciones y ya cuando lo recibamos pueden venir y hacer su pregunta aquí tal vez o dárnosla si no tenemos el personal adecuado en el momento. Le llevamos estas preguntas y entonces lo traemos a la mesa. Y ahora seguimos con el proceso. ¿Cuál es el proceso? Muchas preguntas en el pasado, en las reuniones anteriores, ha sido, ¿cómo es el proceso para que mi hijo califique para ayuda de educación especial? ¿Cómo es esto? ¿Cómo es que se tarda? ¿Cuánto se tarda? Y todo este proceso. Para eso tenemos ahora quien viene a presentarnos, Doreen Owens. And I hope I didn't kill her name. But Doreen nos va a presentar sobre cómo se refiere a un niño si es que tiene necesidades especiales o específicas. Welcome, Doreen. Doreen, well, go ahead.
Do you want to do, you can do it in Spanish if you'd like. Okay, you want to do it in, okay. 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 Oh, can you put your mic on? Right there? Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, technology. Good evening, everybody, and just want to wish you a happy new year. And thank you for inviting me here. My name is Dorianne Owens, and I am a special education program manager. I'd like to share with you our special education assessment referral process and IEP timelines that is being currently implemented throughout our district. These timelines and referral process are aligned to IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is a federal regulations law, right? And it's also aligned to the California Code of Regulations. And so basically what the California Code of Regulations and IDEA inform is that all referrals for special education and related services such as speech and language therapy, could be also counseling services, could be also occupational therapy or nursing services. They shall be initiated and will initiate the assessment process. So the referral initiates that assessment process and shall. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So should I start?
Yeah, you probably should start over.
Okay. So basically, our special education assessment referral process and IEP timeline that is being implemented district-wide is aligned to IDEA, which is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. It's a federal law. And also the California Code of Regulations. Basically, they state that all referrals for special education and related services, the latest services are occupational therapy, could be speech and language, could be nursing or counseling services, shall initiate the assessment process and shall be conducted when a verbal referral is made, can be by a parent, can be by a staff member, can be by a doctor, right? The staff of the school, LEA, the district-wide, the local educational agency, the SELPA or the county office shall offer assistance to the individual in making a request in writing and shall assist the individual if the individual requests such assistance. So, including the special ed department, which is, we're located on East Market Street, the old district office. So you can come in there and we can help you out with that. Okay. So the process starts with, to get a written referral, right? Can be what I'm showing up there is basically focused on parents, right? But like we said, referral can come from a doctor, a teacher, or any other staff member. And it's received in writing. Can be handed in to the school administrators, right, to a teacher, and then or to the special ed department, and then someone from the special ed. No, that referral is then submitted to the special ed department, which then it's logged, right? Because timelines, dates are very important in the referral process. So then we make sure that depending on your parent concerns, then the correct individuals will contact parents. For example, if it's a speech and language concern, then the speech and language pathologist would be contacting parents regarding concerns. If it's more of a suspected specific learning disability, then the school psychologist will most likely call the parents and inquire about parent concerns and the referral that was made in writing. This is documented, and then parents within 15 days of that letter being received by the district, the district has 15 days to respond, right? And the response will be either to assess or to deny the assessment request. And the school psychologist or speech pathologist will then look at the history, will review the cumulative file, will consult with current teachers, and also inquire regarding current interventions. If an assessment is recommended, then the district completes an assessment plan and sends it to the parent. Again, this is within those 15 days. So, along with that assessment plan, it's the parents are provided with a copy of the procedural safeguards, which are a parent's rights. Okay. Now, once a parent signs that assessment plan and gives consent to proceed with an evaluation or assessment as documented or selected in the plan, then the district has 60 days to complete that evaluation and to hold a meeting, which we called an IEP or individualized education plan, to review the results of the assessment and make recommendations and inform whether or not they qualify or they're eligible for this one of the 14 categories of disabilities. And this initial evaluation would not, can only proceed with parent consent, signed consent. Parents will be sent the notice of this meeting and a copy again of the procedural safeguards and parental rights. If the student is found eligible during this IEP meeting, then the district will make offer of FAPE, which is a free and appropriate public education offer. This can be, for example, let's say that the student qualified for speech and language services, then we'll propose, the specialist will propose the services based on the needs of the student that are as a result of the assessment data that was gathered. And then from the needs, goals are developed. And depending on the goals, then the program is or service is recommended, and the minutes, which depend on the goals, right, and areas of need. So then once a parent signs this document, the IEP, and consents, then the district will provide the parent with a copy, their copy, and it must immediately begin providing special education services as in the IEP document. So when the child qualifies for special education services, the students' team members, which include the site administrator, can include the special education teacher, if there is one, if there is specialized academic instruction services, the other specialists like a speech pathologist, general education teacher as well, and the parent, which is also a part of the team, critical member. Then together they meet annually to review the progress of the IEP plan and make any changes as needed to could be increase services, right? Or change goals because they've met the goals. So that's annually, but every 3 years since the initial IEP, then additional review is done. Assessments are completed again to determine if the child continues to qualify for services and continues to be eligible under the specific disability that they qualified under. And that's it. Just to let you know that so let's go again to the timelines. It's important to follow. So within the 15 days that we receive, the district receives a written request for assessment, the district has to respond, deny or assess, right? Then when the parent signs for the assessment to continue, the assessment plan gives consent, then starting on that date and when the district receives it. So not when the parent signs, but when the district receives that document, assessment plan, then there's 60 days to complete the assessment and to hold the IEP meeting. Okay. Now the timelines stop for vacation or non-school days in excess of 5 calendar days. The timeline resumes when the regular school session resumes. So what the summer break will impact that timeline. Okay, for example.
Thank you very much for the information and presentation that you provide us with. Does anybody has a question? ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta? Muchas gracias por su presentación e información proveída.
I have a question. If nobody else. That's a question for me right now. I have actually two questions. One, because the process could take a little bit longer than that, within my experience, it could be more than the 60 days, but anyways, so let's say the child is not yet enrolled, you're waiting for the IEP so that your child could be enrolled in school. Do you guys provide anything like, to the parents that, you know, like, okay, the recommendations, in the meanwhile, you're able to, get them in such school, while they're waiting for the, you know, like, let's say they're younger than 5, 4, it could be, you know, 4, 3. So you have any?
And they're not yet enrolled in any school?
Yes, they're pretty much waiting for the IEP or IFSP, whatever, for them to be enrolled.
IFSP is for early,
Mhm.
so that's before 3 years old. So before so there's, IDEA has a part, it's called Part C to B. So Part C of IDEA or of the Individuals with a Disabilities Education Act, Part C is birth through before the age of 3. And then Part B is the IEP, which is 3 years old to 21 or 22. And so when we receive a referral for a 3-year-old, that starts this process. So if the child is not enrolled in school, I might be thinking that it's a referral for speech and language. That's usually how it starts if they're not, you know, they're that young and not enrolled yet. But it's the same process. So yes, many of our specialists do share with parents information about interventions that they can do at home, implement at home.
I guess my
But-
comment would be, like a suggestion, you know, like for those parents that are waiting for an IEP and they don't, or are not aware that they're able to actually enroll them in school. So if there could be like some kind of like referral, or, you know, in the meantime, while you're waiting, here are some suggestions, things like that.
I don't know exactly what
No.
is the conversation that they have, but I'm pretty sure they do, you know, because we want them enrolled because of that social language and, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
now we're starting really young, preschool and then the TK,
Mhm.
adding the TK. So definitely, you know, just about all our schools have preschool now. So
Yes,
it
that's
is
my
encouraged.
recommendations from my experience, you know, like, whether it's in the actual school or the district, just to kind of double check, or is your child, currently enrolled in any school, early intervention, et cetera, things like
But it's
that.
critical that they do ask that because the general ed teacher, which would be the preschool teacher, is a critical member of that IEP. So you would want to encourage enrollment
Mhm.
in a gen ed, like a Head
Yeah.
Start or
Yep.
a district. preschool.
It's great, just to continue on that then. Perfect,
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Ok, so, debido al tiempo, si alguien tiene algún comentario o alguna pregunta específica para el Departamento de Educación Especial, tienen su papelito, por favor, y sus preguntas específicas se las daremos al Departamento de Educación Especial y ellos les contestarán con información específica para cada uno de los estudiantes, ¿ok? Muchas gracias de nuevo. Thank you so very much for the information and for the comments and questions. ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta relacionada a la agenda que tenemos? Ok, de nueva cuenta. Si se les ocurre antes de irnos, por favor, tienen esta forma para entregarla. Entonces, proseguimos con nuestra reunión para seguir nuestra agenda a tiempo y vamos a hablar sobre el proceso de LCAT. Ms. Álvarez nos va a dar el proceso y por favor esperamos en este momento sus comentarios, ¿ok? Mientras, cuando ella presente, después al final hacemos nuestros comentarios. Gracias.
Hola, buenas noches. Feliz año nuevo a todos. Entonces sí, vamos a empezar, pero también quería decir en cada junta queremos traer como una tema para que ustedes pueden saber más sobre los programas que estamos ofreciendo. Entonces, para la próxima junta vamos a tener el director Hanamio que se encarga del programa de SPER y él va a dar una presentación sobre el proceso también y los programas que hay aquí en el distrito. Entonces, hoy voy a hablar un poquito sobre la fórmula de LCAP ahorita. Entonces, hay un proceso que el distrito tiene que tener y ahorita voy a hablar sobre eso. Entonces, la voz de todos cuenta. Entonces, tal vez piensan, ¿de quién está compuesta la comunidad? Entonces, este documento que tienen enfrente de ustedes se llama LCAP y es casi 120 páginas, pero enfrente de ustedes nomás tienen adentro las metas. Pero si quieren mirar el documento en total, puedes ir a nuestro webpage de Alisal y pueden tener una copia ahí o también puedes pasar al distrito para agarrar uno. Entonces, está compuesto de la comunidad. ¿Quién es la comunidad? Son nuestros estudiantes, padres como ustedes, empleados clasificados, empleados certificados, administración y miembros de la comunidad. Entonces, este documento tiene el voz de todos, no nomás un grupo, pero es un grupo de Alisal. Are we good? Yeah. Can you hear? Yeah. Okay. Entonces, el desarrollo de LCAP, hay un proceso y empezamos empezamos en diciembre. Entonces, en enero ya vamos a empezar juntas de la comunidad en cada escuela. Los administradores van a tener juntas para de diferentes de las 4 metas que hay en el documento y ustedes van a mirar el documento, mirar las acciones que ya tenemos y van a ver si esas acciones están funcionando, van a hablar en grupo o si pueden, también es hora de mirar si hay algo que queremos añadir en el documento, entonces podemos hacer eso también, pero tenemos que mirar que hay un tema en cada escuela. Entonces, si todas las escuelas están diciendo que necesitamos algo, entonces como grupo vamos a mirar ya para revisar o seguir las acciones que están aquí en este documento. Entonces, también, como dije, la comunidad es nuestros estudiantes. Vamos a estar hablando con los estudiantes y haciendo preguntas, cuestionarios para ellos, para ver cómo ellos se sienten también. Y con todos esos comentarios, vamos, yo voy yo voy a empezar a escribir y revisar y yo tengo que tener este documento a la mesa directiva en junio. Entonces tenemos desde ahorita hasta junio para hacer esto. Ok. Entonces, tal vez no sabes, pero nosotros tenemos 32 millones, 338,767 dólares aquí en las acciones de LCAP. Entonces, en el LCAP hay 4 metas. Entonces, vamos a repasar cada meta Y con cada meta hay diferentes acciones. Entonces, la señora Miranda va a ayudarme a leer la primera meta. Aquí. Ajá. Oh, disculpa, yes. Thank you. Okay. Entonces, sí.
El distrito desarrolló la meta número 1 con el propósito de reestructurar los protocolos relacionados con los ciclos de mejora continua. Las medidas aquí consideran las necesidades académicas básicas de todos los alumnos basadas en mejoras de instrucción, nivel del maestro, así como el monitoreo frecuente del progreso, nivel del alumno. Las métricas revisadas en este objetivo se relacionan con las principales áreas académicas básicas, ILA, SLA y matemáticas, English Learning. Okay. Y además las iniciativas del distrito. Alisal implementará un modelo de PLC estructurado para brindar a todos los estudiantes un programa académico riguroso alineado con las normas estatales y las mejores prácticas basado en un sistema de intervención académica en etapas para eliminar las desigualdades que limitan el éxito del estudiante.
Entonces, con la meta número 1, puedes mirar abajo y si estás mirando el documento, hay acciones. En la meta número 1 hay 22 acciones ahí. Entonces, cada uno explica dónde, por ejemplo, número 1 dice 1.1 es el programa de GLT. Eso quiere decir cuando sus maestros están cada mes, tienen un día para planear como en grupo y hay suplentes que van a las clases para dejar a ellos hacer eso. Entonces, puedes mirar cuánto gastamos en eso. Y 1.22, ustedes oyeron hoy de Eva, puedes mirar la cantidad de dinero que está yendo para eso. Entonces, ya vamos a repasar a meta número, meta número 2, ¿dónde está? Ahí está.
Meta número 2. Alisal ofrecerá un sólido programa de desarrollo de lenguaje integrado y designado para garantizar que todos los estudiantes del inglés desarrollen las habilidades de comprensión auditiva, comprensión oral y habilidades de escritura, para lograr un crecimiento anual de 1 año y reclasificarse para el 5º grado.
Ok, entonces para meta número 2, hay 3 acciones nomás para meta número 2. Entonces ahí puedes mirar como 2.1 es el programa de newcomers para el distrito y la cantidad de fondos que hay ahí y hay 2.2 y 2.3. Vamos a seguir a la meta número 3.
Meta número 3. Alisal proporcionará un sistema integral de apoyo que promueve el bienestar socioemocional, conductal y físico para que todos los estudiantes prosperen y desarrollen las habilidades necesarias para ser competitivos en el aprendizaje del siglo XXI.
Entonces ahí para las metas, para meta número 3 es social y emocional. Tenemos 16 acciones para esa meta. Y meta número 4.
Meta número 4. Alisal continuará desarrollando relaciones y fomentando oportunidades de desarrollo de capacidades para aumentar la participación activa de todas las partes involucradas: estudiantes, padres, madres, personal y comunidad.
Ok, entonces para las acciones para el número 4 tenemos 10 acciones. Entonces las acciones son muy importantes. Entonces Meta número 1 es académico. Meta número 2 es para hablantes ingleses. Número 3 es emocional, social. Y número 4 es para padres. Les quiero dar 10 minutos y vamos a tener un poquito más tiempo, pero quiero en grupo de escuela que hablan sobre las acciones y empiezan a hablar sobre las acciones porque es importante saber y entender este documento para hacer decisiones para el año que viene, porque ahorita es el tiempo para discutir y ver qué está funcionando y también puedes hablar con sus directores para ver qué están haciendo en las escuelas, porque este documento también de LCAP abajo es el plan de la escuela. Entonces va en par. Entonces no son separados. Entonces los directores pueden hablar un poquito más sobre eso. Están conectados. ¿Ok? Entonces tienen 10 minutos. Nosotros vamos a ir a hablar si tienen preguntas y entonces ahorita van a mirar el documento y las acciones. Tal vez si hay una área donde ustedes quieren concentrar porque nomás tienen 10 minutos, tal vez quieren hablar sobre meta número 3 de emocional social. ¿Qué está haciendo el distrito en esa área? O si quieres hacer académico. ¿Ok? ¿Sí entienden lo que tienen que hacer ahorita? Sí. Ok, entonces ya pueden hablar. Sí, ya pueden empezar a completar sus oraciones y regresar, por favor. Ya sé que no tuvimos suficiente tiempo para repasar, pero ojalá que esto ayudó un poquito para entender el proceso y también el documento. Ya lo pueden llevar a la casa, pero vamos a tener más juntas en el distrito sobre esto y es la primera junta.
Muchas gracias. Entonces regresamos a nuestra reunión. Ya sé que está bien interesante las pláticas de los temas y hasta yo, ¿verdad? Nos queríamos quedar nosotras allá. Nos tuvieron que decir, paren, paren, paren. Ok, entonces continuamos con nuestra agenda. ¿Y cómo va a ser? ¿Cómo va a ser el proceso de ALCAP? Como dijo Ms. Álvarez en el principio, empezaremos ALCAP ahora. Lo que necesitamos de los padres y de la comunidad es inviten a más padres que vengan y planteen sus necesidades. Porque de otra manera, nosotros no tenemos las ideas, pero los papás que están mirando el día a día con los niños realmente saben cada necesidad. Y de verdad que, como dijimos en el principio, sus comentarios sí cuentan. A Miss Álvarez nos va a presentar un flyer.
Para cada escuela hay 20 copias. Si pueden llevar estos a sus escuelas, nomás guarde las fechas. Terminamos hace una semana el intersección de primavera y el 27 de marzo hasta el 31 es el intersección de la primavera. Entonces, vamos a tener una semana. Entonces, ojalá que van a poder mandar a sus hijos y ya vamos a mandar los 3 escuelas donde vamos a tener la intersección. Y también en febrero vamos a tener un paseo a San Francisco al Museo de Ciencias. Todos están invitados. Entonces, padres también pueden ir como voluntarios y va a ser un sábado. El paseo es 9 horas, entonces ya más información, vamos a mandar más información. Y la última información es la escuela de verano. Ya sé que muchos quieren saber las fechas. Entonces van a empezar el 6 de junio hasta el 29 de junio. Y también más información va a salir ya en estas semanas. Va a ser 15 días y en vez de tener lunes, vamos a tener martes hasta viernes. Entonces el lunes va a ser un día de descanso, entonces nomás va a ser 4 días por la semana. Y también, tal vez no sabemos, pero hay una posibilidad que podemos extender, pero ya más información va a salir, pero el 6 de junio es el primer día de eso. Okay.
Muchas gracias. Y
y empezamos otra vez el School Club. Empezó en trimestre 2. Ahora ya terminamos en Alizal, Barter, Fremont y Montevela y ya estamos cambiando a la escuela Chávez, Frank Paul, Loya and VRB. Tenemos mucho espacio, entonces si tienes tus hijos, por favor, manda a ellos porque es muy divertido. Hay baile, están haciendo música y hay matemáticas también, enriquecimiento de matemáticas. Y en las otras escuelas hay en crecimiento de matemáticas también. Dependiendo en la escuela, es 2 o 3 días por semana, empezando a las 3:05 hasta las 4:05.
Ok, y ahora también si podemos terminar con nuestros los últimos pensamientos, ¿qué les gustaría? Si alguien quiere dar su comentario, ¿qué les gustaría mirar en las reuniones futuras? ¿Qué es lo que, cuál es su recomendación? Puede pasar al frente, por favor, y dar su comentario en el micrófono. Si no tenemos comentarios o pensamientos, pues yo tengo uno, ¿verdad? Comentario es que estas reuniones sigan siendo, ¿cómo se dice? Ay, Dios mío, tenía la palabra adecuada. Pero que sigan siendo interactivas, ya que tenemos una academia que se llama ABA y que es totalmente en virtual. Entonces yo creo que esos padres merecen también ser parte de esta reunión. Y si por alguna razón decidieron tener a sus niños en escuela virtual, pues que les demos la oportunidad de estar en este tipo de reuniones virtuales. También se hizo la decisión que se cambiara esta reunión un martes antes de que fuera la reunión de la mesa directiva del distrito para mejor, puede pasar al micrófono, para tener mejor, ahora tenemos mejor audio, mejor visibilidad también, por eso se fueron cambiadas, ¿ok? Y la próxima semana, la próxima reunión será en febrero 21 y estará, como dijo Miss Álvarez, el doctor Jaramillo dando su presentación sobre educación especial. Y adelante con su comentario.
Quería saber si pueden aumentar la seguridad en las escuelas, poner un detector de metales o algo para revisar las mochilas para que no lleven armas a las escuelas, y sobre el bullying también. Si se podía tratar esos temas para la siguiente.
Muy buenos temas, muchísimas gracias. Póngalo aquí también para que no lo dejemos solamente, lo estamos anotando, pero para que no se nos quede. ¿Alguien más tiene algún otro comentario? Pero muy buen comentario, buen tema, gracias. Si nadie más tiene ningún otro comentario, igual como estamos queriendo ser o aplicamos para escuelas comunitarias, pues que tengamos un engagement, ¿cómo se dice, hombre? Que seamos una verdadera comunidad, un enlace en la comunidad verdadero y genuino, donde padres, escuelas y distritos estemos unidos y que todos podamos tener esa comunidad. Y algo que quisiera comentar es, estas reuniones se mira muy diferente que la primera vez que yo asistí a esta reunión hace 5 años. Ahora vemos más padres que solamente un pobre padre abandonado, ¿verdad? Preguntas, si no hay más preguntas, damos por finalizada nuestra reunión. Señor Koenig, le gustaría dar los últimos comentarios y muchas gracias por estar acá y feliz año de nuevo.
I think this was a very productive meeting. We addressed several, very important issues to the parents and to the LaSalle Union School District. Special education, that's part of the educational program of LaSalle Union School District, and we all need to understand how it works. I think the AVA program is a terrific initiative. We need to all go out there and try to get the enrollment up so that this program can continue. And it was great to go over the LCAP, which is really, the LCAP represents our district plan for everything that we do. So it's important that the parents understand how the LPAC is put together, how to have input into the LPAC, and the fact that this is where this is how the money is distributed. So this is what we're going to do. So terrific meeting. Thank you very much to everyone who participated.
Entonces damos por finalizada nuestra reunión a las 7:03 y muchas gracias de nueva cuenta a todos por estar aquí y no olviden mover los LCAP meetings, ¿ok? Porque es lo único que nos va a llevar a tener éxito para traer los fondos al lugar adecuado. Muchísimas gracias y buenas noches.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Gracias a todos. Principals, if you want to continue this topic at your school site council meeting,